Now, there's been a lot of criticism on the part of the UK equivalent of the IRS that this is not enough. It demands more. I'm sure it would like to do something like, you haven't paid up, you need to give us extra to the tune of 600 million euros or pounds, just like France is doing. No word on if it will ever see the light of day. And of course, it's not the only country that Google's having to deal with that.
There's a profit-sharing scheme for Google. How does that work in actuality?
Well, the way to explain it is what's referred to as a double Irish-Dutch sandwich. So bear with me. The way it works is that you funnel money from through one Irish company through to a Dutch company. Then you funnel it through a second Irish company into a tax haven, such as Bermuda, the British Virgin Islands, the Bahamas.
Nice.
So that way, you're really not having to pay tax on anything, or on much, except for where you're doing your permanent your business is permanently stationed. Ireland has very good tax rates, so Google has always said, we are an Ireland-based company, but we operate in Europe, and the European companies are saying not too fast. So what a lot of lawyers for Silicon Valley are essentially saying is, hey, you're my client, do this. Facebook, Uber, Google, Amazon, Apple, do this in Europe. Make that be your first foray overseas, not Latin America, not China. It's not possible. These European laws are made for the industrial age, not the digital age, and it's got to catch up.
Right. I know that Google also, they've run into a lot of trouble, not just in in France. They've had difficulties with other countries. They've faced tax trouble in the UK. Do you know anything about what's going on there?
Yeah, so the latest out of the UK is that Google faces a £130 million tax bill. That is spanning the years from 2005 up until now. Now, there's been a lot of criticism on the part of the UK equivalent of the IRS that this is not enough. It demands more. I'm sure it would like to do something like, you haven't paid up, you need to give us extra to the tune of 600 million euros or pounds, just like France is doing. No word on if it will ever see the light of day. So there's been a lot of criticism that this is just too small. But again, Google goes to Ireland, operates out of there, but does business everywhere. Britain's not happy with it. France is not happy with it. Brussels has really kicked up a fuss over it. But from all that we know so far is that Google's got great lawyers, and it's so far not paid. And so now it's facing fees. And like I said, France is saying, we are not going to do a deal. So we'll have to wait and see what came of this meeting.
And what about other companies that are facing the same kinds of things? Aren't there other American companies that have the same problems?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been well documented that Apple's been hit time and time again. There have been a lot of public disputes over this. Lawmakers from Germany having to deal with tech CEOs at forums and the jabbing, the public jousting that goes on. Europe wants its taxes, and these companies are saying, a lot of people say the companies are kind of saying, you're lucky to have us. We're not going to pay your version of EU taxes.
Hey, when the economy's down, they got to get their taxes.
Exactly.
That's all for now from us here at Boom Bust. We love hearing from you guys, so tweet at us at DMartinoBooth, at Edward NH, at Bianca Fascini, and at Lindsay Brandt. And remember, you can see all the segments featured in today's show on YouTube at youtube.com/BoomBustRT. From all of us here at Boom Bust.